Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to discuss about global helpers. Why we create the global helpers, how to create these global helpers in the Laravel, and what are the advantages. So first we are going to discuss about what are the global helpers. So basically global helpers are global functions. We can call these functions anywhere from in our application. We can call them from the route file. We can call them into the controller without defining the functions. We can define it into a global file and then we can recall these functions from this file. So it's very simple. So how we can do this in the Laravel? So first understand that why we implement this type of where we use this type of scenario. So let's go here, go to this society. Maybe this society is, for now it's not going to work. For example, in a create page we have a drop down where we want to display all of our cities, and we have also a edit page where we want to display our cities, right? So we don't need to pass them into the create method and into also an edit method. So we will define only one global helper and then we can recall this helper into both files. So it's pretty simple. So now let's get started. So first of all you need to go to this app directory, and here you need to create a global helper, right? So there is two cases. The first one, if you have not too much helpers, so you can create directly function, or you can say that helpers.php file here, and you can define all of your helpers here. But if you have multiple helpers, like in my case, so you can go to this app directory, and here you need to create this helpers directory first, and in the helper directory you need to create your multiple files here. In our case I'm going to create the society helper, society helper.php, society helper.php, or you can simply create the society.php because it's in the helpers directory, right? And here I'm going to write my logic. So my logic is I'm going to call a function. I'm going to define a function here. So before this, remember that if you are defining the global function, you need to first check that if this function does not exist, then you are going to call this function. So here I'm going to check this file exist. My text editor is helping me. Okay, file exists, and here I'm going to define my function name. So I'm going to create this cities function, and in the cities I'm here checking that if this function does not exist, then I'm going to execute this script. So basically I'm going to return all of the cities. So my city is a Laravel model or Laravel eloquent. So here I'm going to call this all method. So basically I'm first I need to create the function, because in the first condition we are checking, we are not defining the function, and in this function, function cities, and here I need to define, my one button is not working, so I need to do this with the other button. Okay, so I created this function when this function does not exist, right? And now I'm going to call this function, so it's not going to work. Why? Because first we need to register this society.php file into our Laravel application, and then it's going to work. So I'm going to go to this composer.php file, composer.json.php file, and here in the auto load, this auto load attribute, you can say that it's a attribute, it's a JSON attribute. So here you need to register your file. So how you can register? So what is the syntax? So you need to add this comma here, because we want to attribute, we want to add this after this. Okay, my text, my one keyboard button is not exist. So here you need to type files and hit enter, and in the array form you need to set your file path society.php file. So you need to make sure your full path, so app / and then make sure that you are entering the case sensitivity. So because I created the helper with the H capital, that's why I'm entering the H capital here. So it would be helpers society.php here, and then that's it. And here you need to execute one more command to render our optimized file. So composer vendor auto load. Okay, hit enter. So it's going to basically load our optimized file. So basically it's going to regenerate our file composer. Why it's not getting, oh, we need to execute the composer dump auto load. So it's this command, not vendor auto load, it's a composer dump auto load. So it's going to regenerate our files, and this would be registered into our this, oh sorry, I forgot to save this file. So let me terminate this one, and then I'm going to execute this composer dump auto load again, because it's not going to work if we do not register this into our composer.json file. And if you did any mistake here, so it's going to show you a mistake here, because composer is most important thing, because it's handling all of our Laravel packages. So it's generating the file, and wait for a moment to complete this process. Okay, so let's go to our this factory, and here I'm going to use this cities method into our project. So before this, I'm going to go to web.php file and create a new test route, and in the test route I'm going to call this cities method, so you can understand it better that we can call it from anywhere. So route get, and here in the get I'm going to type test. Oops, why my button is very okay, function. In the function here I need to call this cities method, so I'm calling this cities, right, cities, and save this one. And we are going to call this, because we are waiting for this command to complete this process. If there is any error, so it will display it here in the red line. And yes, now it's compiled it successfully, so it means that our file is compiled successfully, and we can call any method from this file. And let me first complete this, and then I'm going to come to my point. So here I'm going to execute this localhost/test. Okay, hit enter. It's going to grab our cities from the database, because we registered these cities. And yes, now it's grabbing the cities from Lahore, Karachi. I belong from Pakistan, that's why I'm displaying the Pakistan countries. Okay, so I saved these countries into my database. So it means that now our this method is working globally. We did not register this into any file, we registered this into the composer.json file. So then if you need one more method here, like in my case, I'm copying this here and then pasting it here. So I don't need to register this once again, because it's we registered this file, not this method. So we can add multiple method into this file. So we don't need to run composer vendor composer autoload composer autoload. Okay, so it says that not found because I removed this one. So let's refresh it. So it's going to it's now going to work, because there is in the create drop down I am displaying these cities, and I removed it from there, that's why it's not working. So now it's going to display these countries. Okay, now it's displaying these cities. So this is a create page. If I have edit page where I want to display these all of the cities, so I don't need to manually define this twice time. I can define it only once in the global helper, and then I'm going to recall it in the create and edit. So this is very simple, and it's easy to use. Whenever you use multiple helpers that you need to add, you need to use them into the multiple files, you can add them into the globally. So hope you get an idea that how to do this. And if you are interested to more learn about the Laravel, subscribe the YouTube channel and stay connected. Bye bye.